Teens in Gardendale are in for a rude awakening this summer when it comes to cutting grass. According to the city's ordinance, you must have a business license. Now, teenagers have been threatened by officials and other lawn services to show their city-issued license before cutting a person's lawn for extra summer cash.
ABC 3340's Amber Grigley just back from Gardendale. Amber, this is, I guess, an odd reality for a lot of teenagers who are just looking for work, and they've got to face this reality.
Well, think about it, Pam and Brenda. Cutting grass is often one of the first jobs many have in the summer, but a business license in Gardendale costs $110. And for a job just for a couple of months, that can be a bit extreme.
I'd never heard of a child cutting grass that had to have a business license.
Elton Campbell's granddaughter cuts grass around the neighborhood.
She charges one lady $20, another lady $30, and another girl $40, and then besides what we pay her.
For her, this was the perfect summer gig.
Just helping out and raising money for missions and stuff like that, and trips.
But now it's becoming a hassle.
One of the men who cuts several yards here in our yard made a remark to one of our neighbors that if he saw her cutting grass again in here, he was going to call Gardendale because she didn't have a business license.
He's coming after a kid, and when a kid's trying to at least do work, and there's kids at home on iPads and electronics and not wanting to go outside.
Mayor Stan Hoagland says when operating a business for pay within the city limits, you must have a business license. He says sending someone after a child making extra money over the summer is not a priority, but he is committed to find a way to make this less of an issue for teens.
I would really love to have something on our books that gave more, I guess, a more favorable response to that student that's out there cutting grass, and to see if there's a possibility of maybe a temporary license during the summer months that targets teenagers.
Now, Mayor Hoagland tells me that it's just unfortunate that issues as small as a teen cutting grass trigger these types of complaints. He says he doesn't want this to discourage kids from trying to earn money. In the newsroom, Amber Grigley, ABC 3340 News.
Children now face fines and arrest if they don't get a permit to mow grass for money. In the land of the free, it is now illegal to mow grass from extra money during the summertime, unless you pay the right state official for the privilege of working. These permit requirements are ultimately enforced through the power of police and fines. By J. Sermopoulos. May 31, 2017. Gardendale a regular summer rite of passage for motivated teenagers across the United States in search of some extra spending money has always been cutting the neighbor's grass. However, teens in Gardendale, Alabama, and many other cities across the United States, are about to get a rude lesson in how government overregulation stifles personal and financial growth. Local officials and area law services have reportedly warned area teens that without a business license issued by the city, which costs $110, they are in violation of a city ordinance, thus violating the law, if they attempt to cut grass without a license. It's patently absurd that local teenagers can't make a private agreement with a neighbor to mow a lawn without the government sanctioning the transaction by inserting themselves as the arbiter of who is allowed to legitimately cut grass. Mowing grass in the summer is often one of the first jobs a motivated teenager will engage in during their summer break from school. But, with a business license costing $110 for a job that will likely be ongoing for a few short months in the summer, the cost will likely drive many ambitious entrepreneurial teens away from what would likely be a rewarding experience. I have never heard of a child cutting grass having to have a business license. Elton Campbell, whose granddaughter, Elena Paris, mows a few lawns around the neighborhood, told ABC 33/40. Image, http://pixel.watch/qt7. She charges one lady $20, and another lady $30, and another girl $40 besides what we pay her, said Campbell. The teen is disappointed as she felt like this was the perfect way for her to make some extra money during the summer. Read more. I can't breathe. Video shows cops beat father, ignore cries for help until he dies. Just helping out and raising money for admissions and trips, said Elena Paris. According to Campbell, Paris is allegedly being targeted by someone upset by the competition from the teen. That person is using the power of the state to eliminate his competition. One of the men that cut several yards made a remark to one of our neighbors, that if he saw her cutting grass again that he was going to call Gardendale because she didn't have a business license, said Campbell. Campbell called out the irony of trying to prevent a child from taking on a summer job, when they show an internal drive and take the initiative, as so many teenagers are not engaging in enterprising behavior, or taking on additional responsibilities, during their summer break. He's coming after a kid when a kid is at least trying to do work. There's kids at home on iPads and electronics and not wanting to go outside, said Paris. Mayor Stan Hoagland weighed in on the controversy, noting that when operating a business for pay within the city limits, you must have a business license. But, he also said that sending law enforcement after a child trying to earn extra money in the summer is not a priority. Unfortunately, however, if children do resist this tax on their entrepreneurial spirit, police force will most assuredly come. These children would most assuredly face at the very least a fine and possibly even arrest. Hoagland stated he's committed to finding a way to resolve this issue. But, of course, the government still wants its cut, so he will explore the possibility of a temporary license for summer months that targets entrepreneurial youth. Read more. Epic fail: cop with broken headlight wrongly stops man to cite him for a broken headlight. I would love to have something on our books that gave a more favorable response to that student out there cutting grass. And see if there's maybe a temporary license during the summer months that targets teenagers, said Mayor Hoagland. While it is heartening to hear Mayor Hoggle recognize that it's unfortunate there are young people are complaining about the permits for cutting their neighbor's grass for a few bucks and saying that he doesn't want this to discourage kids from trying to earn money, the fact that he still believes that these kids should be licensed, speaks to the true insanity of government over-regulation. There is clear cognitive dissonance seen in Hoggle's ability to recognize the foolish and petty nature of calling city authorities on these teenagers for trying to do something adults should be congratulating and supporting, while at the same time failing to acknowledge that there is no legitimate reason for these kids to be licensed. The formality of requiring teens to be licensed to cut grass is a simple revenue generation scheme, plain and simple. This type of regulation does nothing to keep anyone safe, and only serves to enrich the government coffers. Once again, the free market is being squeezed by unnecessary regulation, for the sake of revenue generation, which only serves to stifle competition and keep consumer prices higher.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago. And so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too, because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. that would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.